Hi guys, it's Rose here. I'm a player on Project Artemis, and I'm here to tell you about the amazing deck that is Terapagos Brufalot Noctowl. So this deck isn't quite a new deck. It did exist in previous formats with Pidgeot and Dust Noir, but this current version of the build plays no Pidgeot, no Dust Noir, and focuses on a much more tanky aspect with Brufalot and Bravery Charm. This loses its combo plays of being able to Pidgeot search anything, but what it allows in return is allows use of the fantastic card Monkey Dory, which is seemingly in every single deck these days, and allows for a fantastic Tera Box matchup, denying the Pikachu one-shot, and denying Pokemon Wellspring to do basically anything. This list is very similar to what my teammate Callie used to win an online tournament a couple weeks ago, with taken out of Penny, because it's just not really needed. It's not a very versatile card, and Ditto's been put in instead, as it's a fantastic consistency card, and quite often in your opening hands you may have a way to find Fan Rotom, but no way finding a Terra Pokemon. So Ditto just basically allows you to guarantee that Terra Pokemon, guarantee that Terapagos in the active turn 1. The most notable thing with my deck list is Prime Catcher over Scoop Up Cyclone. So personally, I love Prime Catcher so much because it allows you to go for much more aggressive plays. It gives you an extra switching out, and compared to Scoop Up Cyclone, it's just much more versatile. Unless you have this unprecedented amount of aggression by being able to go turn 2 Terapagos attack, KO any setup Pokemon they have, maybe they managed to Fez early, taking easy prizes. It's just fantastic. This deck also is kind of a toolbox deck as well, not as much as Tera Box, but as Least Fairy EX, to have a playable Dragapult matchup as it can hit it for weakness. It is Cornerstone Ogerpon EX, which is for so many matchups, Arcaludon, Golden Go, pretty much any deck whose main attack is an ability Pokemon, you'll want to have this guy out in the active doing work. With Bravery Charm and Monkey Dory as well, it lets this deck have a much better time using Cornerstone Ogerpon than literally any other deck can, apart from maybe Woes. The best feature about this deck is it has an incredible Tera Box matchup, basically unlosable, which I will be showing later on in the video. It also has a pretty good meta spread into most of the other meta. It has a pretty good Golden Go matchup, I'd say pretty playable Arcaludon matchup. It's very good against Zoroark, of course, the guy needs an ability to attack with. It also has a pretty good Raging Bolt matchup, as your Terapagos can one-shot a Raging Bolt and use Prime Catcher to pick off any pesky 2 prizes on the bench if they try to promote one prize in the active. The Brufalons just make it so bulky in the matchup. For Raging Bolt to consistently OHKO a 340 HP Pokemon every single turn, it's so hard for them to reach, so it's got a great matchup in that regard as well. As for the matchups that are a bit bad, we're mainly concerned with Gardevoir and Dragapult Dust Noir, which I will also be showing later in the video. The reason why Gardevoir does not feel amazing is because they're the only deck in format which can actually one-shot your Terapagos. But just for a combination of plays, Drifloon with 11 damage counters on it can do it. 2 Monkey Dories can also do it with a Drifloon. They basically have, they're basically the only deck in format that can actually one-shot your guy, which just does not feel good. Now, up here, I think, we have a lot of just basic Pokemon that we can just draw into off Iona. Brufalot isn't particularly amazing in the matchup. Cornerstone Ogerpon does basically nothing. Ursaluna isn't the best. Multiple copies of Terapagos isn't really needed because it can be mostly focusing on targeting down or Least Fairy or Mew EX or Hoot Hoots. So basically, when we get on Fairy Stamp and Iono every single turn, we can have so many bad cards we can draw it into. On paper with Least Fairy and Mew EX being able to attack into it for weakness, it may seem very good, but as you can show in the video, once you get to 2 prize cards, you will start bricking so often. I think playing the deck in the future, due to the popularity of Dragapult, innovation definitely needs to be done. Whether that makes the deck close to Tera Box, which I think is a bit of a better Dragapult matchup, by putting in an Ogerpon, that could be interesting. 2 Monkey Dories, something I've thrown around a lot more. 2 Monkey Dories notably also makes your mirror match just a tiny bit better, because basically the mirror match is nobody's ever one-shotting each other. So Monkey Dory gets so much value because you can just move more damage than your opponent can. So for the next part of the video, I'm going to go over a couple matchups, ranging from very good to definitely needs a lot of work on. So let's jump on to it, Okay, so for the main bulk of this video, I'm going to go over 3 fairly high quality games I recorded. In the order of very favorable, 50-50. It looks a lot better on paper than it does in practice. And then matchup that I think is very abysmal, and something that you need to tech for when going to Atlanta. Because currently this list is just like full gas, no like text for this matchup. So yeah, I'll go over it. So yeah, this first one they have on the very favorable is Tera Box. I think this matchup is actually almost impossible to lose. I make one massive misplay, which gives my opponent an out if I match the book for 5 turns. Also, this hand that I've drawn is also insane. But I think even if my hand is like much worse, I still draw really well. So okay, this is my first major tip for the matchup, or for like pretty much any matchup. Bench your Hoot Hoots. Whenever I see Tera Box or Hoot Hoot or like Pagos lose, it's because they've done like some really weird search where they've searched for like 1 Hoot Hoot, 2 Noctowl, so there's like 2 Hoot, 2 Noctows in that. That's not good. Don't do that. Try and make sure you have as many Hoots down as possible. I'm just going through the motions. But yeah, just try and make sure that you don't. Okay, so you'll notice that even in this hand when I can't match the third Hoot Hoot, I think I'm always searching for area 0 just so I can go like wide on my bench next turn. And because I'm probably searching out an out to Bravery Charm like research. Yeah, basically just make sure to bench all your Hoots. This turn is when I do the almost game losing misplay, and the fact that this would be game losing in any other matchup, but this matchup is so favourable that I'm so favoured from this position, should just go to show how good it is. So I bench Pagos here. I'm definitely benching the Dory like I'm hovered over. But the reason why is in this matchup you want to create one really bulky Pagos, probably 2 bulky Pagos at the same time. But right now my board only have 1 bulky Pagos. Because my opponent already has Pikachu inactive with an energy attachment to it, it is very, very, very feasible for them to just have boss my bench Pagos on the bench and just take 2 prizes for no reason. If the Pagos isn't down, it is literally impossible to take 2 prizes. They attack into my Fan Rotom, they're taking 1 prize, attacking my Terapagos. I go Dory, ping their Pikachu, and I just like create such like a massive prize lead. It's so hard for them to win, and I can just create a Pagos this turn either. So this gives them a very small line to win through Blood Moon attacking 3 times, which I need to break for a very long time for that to happen, but I guess it's not for them. If I don't match the Pagos, that line never exists and we just automatically win the game. Right here I bench the Pagos because I'm very confident in my chance of getting double Bravery Charm. I draw into, of course, but also because this Pikachu is always dying and the chance of them having Pikachu boss Pagos is no, it doesn't happen. You might notice that I hold an S1 hand here. Second lose con, the only second lose con to miss benching your Pagos without Charm is having a full bench. Because basically, the math works out for them. The Liz Clefairy can actually one-shot us at this point if we have like a full bench. This whole matchup revolves around just creating a really tanky guy that's literally impossible for them to ever KO because we have like Dory and stuff, just move the damage off. And not being one-shot. The very obvious ways of doing that is just not benching all your bench and having like 2 prizes that they can easily boss KO. If we do that, I think we're literally guaranteed to win every single game. Like, this is just so horribly favoured. They can't even Fan Rotom from this point because Booth like shuts off literally any Fan Rotom plays. It's so bad for them. It's so bad for them. You'll see that their line here is to go Pagos Swing to soften up my guy to make me do a full bench. At this point, if I can take 2 prizes next turn and they can't take 2 prizes this turn, it does not matter if I go up to a full bench, because if you attack with Liz Clefairy, I just take the free knockout. So as long as my next bench isn't a 2 prizer, I'm perfectly fine here. So yep, realistically I don't have to invest Noctowl here. I can just go Nestball Dory. Being able to set up Dory here is very nice because I also get to thin my deck of just like 3 bad cards. So I get Nestball Crispin, which is very correct. So I have all my guys, and from here it is basically checkmate. Their line is being able to Churro Bear, and me. I don't actually know what lines for the opponent here with Bear. Because Bear doesn't even one-shot my bench Pagos. I think I just have to like kill my Pagos, re-bench down their own Pagos once I kill this one. Hope they can kill their Pagos, and then Churro Bear to just like nullify 3 of my attacks. But the chance of me like not drawing boss, and also them drawing it, is actually so incredibly low, so we're very favoured here. I put 30 on Fan Rotom here, because if they do try and put a 1 prize in the active to stall a turn, maybe get some extra damage to my Pagos to 7 up for Blood Moon, this basically means that I win through 2 Dory pings. We also put on the Fan Rotom and not the Hoot Hoot, because I don't need like pretty much 1 prize to win from this scenario. Killing Hoot Hoot does nothing for me, but if they evolve the damage to Hoot Hoot into Noctowl, it means it's now 3 pings, so it's basically like irrelevant maths. So Fan Rotom is just always the best ping here. I think they bench Wellspring to just thin here. I think for the line to work, they'd have to bench like Pagos again or Liz Clefairy or something. But yeah. Oh, I guess we're also losing like Liz Clefairy Pearl, but that's like a non-existent like thing to play around. We still win. Because we're not going to have like a full bench. Liz Clefairy can't take 2 KOs. So KO our Pagos. We just go into our Pagos. If we don't have Ultra Ball here, we swing. If we have Fez or Mew, we do not bench. You never bench those cards in this matchup until the turn before they win, because we're trying to probably go for the win ourselves. But here, if we do bench Fez and we miss Noctowl our boss, they just go Churro, then like they play CC or something. We can go like, they can like move their bear, boss Fez, and just have game that way, which is a very bad lose con for us. So here we have our 50-50 matchup. On paper, this matchup should be insane because we play Cornerstone and Dory and Bravery Charm and Noctowls to find all these combos. In practice, there's a lot of cards they can play that I think they should be playing that can help soften the matchup for them a little bit. These cards are actually, maybe it's a little bit niche. It is Palpad, Iron Bundle, Scissor, and Dunsparce EX. I think Palpad Bundle does an insane amount of work in this matchup. In this matchup specifically, I'm trying to play around Dunsparce EX, but I think if they play Palpad, they're actually quite favoured here. But it becomes like a much more of a 50-50. So my game for this matchup, just go into Ogerpon, don't bench any of the 2 prizers. Don't try and bench 2 abilities, because if they are playing Scissor, then I do just lose. Something very important to note here is 80 HP Hoot Hoot is very bad in this matchup. Unless you know you're definitely going to Noctowl next turn, don't bench 80 HP Hoot Hoot. Or if you do bench 80 HP Hoot Hoot, just try and evolve it up ASAP. Yeah, but it's actually a very relevant thing for why we play 70 HP, because it's like much better in the Scissor matchup. Yeah, right here, I'm going to try to go for a just Prime Catcher Crispin play. You can notice that I just try to prioritize Hoot over Noctowls again here, just because having the Hoot Hoot up is so good. So we get like a very free like Prime Catcher my Dunsparce to like basically make it a lot harder for them to do any like Dunsparce EX plays next turn. I know I started Ditto again this game as well. I promise I wasn't like specifically choosing content while like I started well. I think it was just 2 very high quality games. I just happened to start Ditto. But starting Ditto isn't like that big here. It's literally the same thing as like starting Fan Rotom or starting like Cornerstone or at least starting anything. Like I'm gonna Prime Catcher either way, it doesn't matter. Just means I've got like 1 less bad card in my deck. But yeah, okay, because I saw them bench Dunsparce, I'm very confident we aren't playing a Scissor version, because that's just like too many cards for them to play in one deck. So it means I'm good to bench Dory here. If they are playing a Scissor version, I actually don't bench Dory until I'm sure they can't Scissor multiple times, because an extra 50 damage, and right now Scissor would actually be killing me without Bravery Charm, so it would not be very good. Something else also to note this matchup is in the Scissor version, they can actually attack with Scyther. If they can, because we can't OHKO any of their EXs, if they can stall like a Fez or a Golden Go in the active for enough turns, triple manual attached to Scyther, we miss boss for 3 turns, and we just win the game because Cypher hits for weakness. It's a pretty funny interaction, but it's just something you should definitely watch out for. So yeah, we do other stuff. My opponent goes for a really interesting line here. I was threatening the Crow Arrow at one point. The best way to get around this is also the best way to get around to Dunsparce. The Dunsparce in this matchup, if you don't bench any X's, which is what you should be doing, is they have to go for the second attack to actually do any meaningful damage. As long as you can damage the Dunsparce or Fez by bossing it out before they can damage you, so like maybe like boss it out when they're on 200 cards attached, you actually just always win like the trade, because they don't play Crispin, so they can't like excel energies out like massively. And it basically means that you boss their guy, you put it into a hero range, and you just always win like the damage war because you take care better than they can. So my game plan here is just to like continuously boss until they can find a good avenue to just like put Dunsparce EX down and win in 2 attacks. I thin the Booth for my deck because it's a very bad card to draw. Booth is very bad in most matchups. It's very needed in Tera Box to make that matchup 100-0. My hand's very good here. I do make one misplay here, which is I don't match second Hootu for some reason. I think I'm trying to keep the bench space open just in case like anything really weird happens. But I have like I can play an Iris 0 either way, so I don't think it really matters. I think this is like a very like fake loose con. I'm like not playing around, so benching second Hootu is definitely fine because they can go at some point in the game. If I don't bench another Hootu on the next turn either, they can go CC Iono, which I think is actually what they end up doing, which is very much like a loose con for me because it means I just like can potentially brick off the Iono. Actually, do I have double Hootu prized? I don't think I do. But if I do have double Hootu prized, then that's probably why I don't do it. I think they want to probably get on like double Dunsparce so I can't like boss KO if they do start attaching energy to it. Yeah, so this when they start like threatening the Crow Arrow. I think I probably have liked to have seen an attachment on the Dunsparce either way because Dunsparce is just a better attacker. I'm assuming they had it prized, but it's like the same thing to be honest because I still just go like boss and just like put damage on it before they can put damage on my guy. Okay, I do double prized. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. Yeah. I think right here, I'm just trying to play around to hope that I can like rebench Hootu once they Iono me to the Iono CC play. And there's my Hootu. Yeah. Okay. So going for the Dunsparces. I would like to see Dunsparce EX here as well, just to like set up more consistently. But we're trying really hard to reach the CC Iono play this turn, so I don't hate just fully going for it. Especially if we can just reset it back up. Yeah, so I think it's like why Bundle would be so good here is because if they do have a bunch like another Hootu, they do just have like 5 bundles per game, and if they weave in some churros, it means that our 2 hit KOs, we're actually winning the prize trade. Especially if they can like power pad back these churros, Ionos, make sure I like miss a boss on more turns. It gets very awkward for us very fast, so they play it down, and they just hit my Hootu, which is definitely the correct choice here. We draw an insane hand here off this Iono. Actually, it's not that insane. I think going Golden Ghost Swing is actually just like perfectly fine here as well, because they aren't really threatening like any like future attacks. As long as I can find boss to turn out, that's fine. Luckily, find Night Stretch for Hoot, but I think our odds to find Hoot were very high because we put one back in the deck with Iono. Then we can go boss, Dunsparce, just fixed price trade. Okay, so the reason why I do this is because I'm looking multiple turns in the future. Next turn, by putting myself to 2 prizes here, I create myself in like a checkmate position if I can find a Blood Moon, and I'll show why when it happens. I'm just thinking of what to promote here. I think Golden Ghost is always the correct promotion here. Like the free coin bonus is just so good. But yeah, my opponent just spent like a couple turns like bonusing all their coins here. I think they're trying to like just like mana attach to Fez here again so they can threaten the Crow Arrow. Because the prize map does exist for them if they boss Dory here and can Crow Arrow twice. So we go boss Dory. I think we need to like power pad boss Dory again. Or, like power pad boss like Noctower Hootu or something. But here I can basically create like a checkmate situation by if the base. Okay, so they have taken up a prize here no matter what. And I'm pretty confident they're down on all their bosses. So by finding a Blood Moon here, it means that okay. For starters, even if they play Power Pad, they can't boss an enemy in the same turn. This deck never plays more than 1 CC. I think that's a risk I'm very comfortable taking. So by doing this, I can search. I can find Nest Bolt, and I think yeah, I can Nest Bolt. Like research just like fill up my hand. I think boss here is fine as well to just guarantee game. But I can Nest Bolt for Blood Moon, attach energy to it, and it basically means that from this position, if they Iono and start going with Fez, then I can just Blood Moon KO, But if they boss kill Blood Moon, I actually have everything in hand I need with an extra boss to with like Noctowl and like finding Blood Moon again, doing the boss plays. I have everything in hand I need to actually just like win the game. My opponent tries to go into the dance bars because it's the only thing in the board that survives. Because if they do Fez, like Blood Moon just kills them. Yeah, so Blood Moon's a neat little like checkmate here. And from here, I have the boss in hand. They didn't kill my cornerstone, so I just go boss, golden go, KO. But yeah, that was like a neat play of just like knowing when to bench 2 prizes of his matchup, because it does create just like a checkmate scenario. And now we arrive at the very unfavorable matchup. I think this game quite well illustrates why this matchup is so unfavorable. Basically, we play so many bad basic Pokemon in our deck, our chance of breaking off Iona in first tap is actually so incredibly high. I think in this matchup, you want to prioritize just like setting up all your guys before they can Iono or stamp you. And I also really like just like aggressively discarding all the bad basics in your hands. You see I draw Booth here, this is an excellent draw, because it basically means I won't draw it later because I'm going to research it away. So the game plan I go with here is I try to go for a Charmed Mew KO, because it basically means, because I expect I'm playing Duskull, so it can just threaten like a lot of like checkmate positions, especially because Mew is also unfair stamp and Iona proof, because I've got restart. It's basically like an attacker and like an engine all in one Pokemon, which is why it's so good here. I think debatably I should have spent more time setting up Monkey this game, because that's definitely like my undoing is not having a Monkey. We can go over when I think the best time to made Monkey was and why I didn't make it at the time. So we got my Hoot Hoots. Noctowl management is really, really important in this game as well. I think you basically always want to have like 2 Hoot Hoots on board, because that basically means that for them to kill 2 Hoot Hoots, they have to go CC with Pult on a Hoot Hoot, Holucha Hoot Hoot, and that means they aren't killing your attacker. So it means that the price trade is much more favorable for you. You need to find less anyway. We can set up a Mew here with Bravery Charm, which will be my main attacker for this matchup. So I think I'm trying to prioritize that. Ultra Ball, Boufflant, Energy. I think I just get Energy in my discard just because I don't really want to draw into it in the future. And also so it makes Glass Trumpet live, because Glass Trumpet E-Switch is pretty good here. Okay. So I could have potentially have made Dory this turn instead of a 4-Hoot. The reason why Dory would have been more correct is because I actually can't bench this Dory. So you can see I want to drag it down, but I can't play it because I need space for the Clefairy. So Clefairy ability in combination with Genome Hacking Dragapult's attack will Oko Dragapult. Unfortunately, I can't do that here because I can do it, but I can't do that and Story because I've like already made my bench so full. If I don't search the Hoot Hoot, I have a bit less consistency on future turns, but I also have much less to find. I can create like checkmate scenarios much easier. I think with how the game goes, it doesn't actually matter that much. I think I still just like. Actually, it does matter. No, I definitely like do win if I can create Dory Dark, but keep in mind I've also drawn very well so far. So I still think this matchup's like very unfavorable. They're going to Badoo here. We just have Raw Boss and a Cloak, which is just broken, insane. It is debatable whether you want to go for Fez here instead, just try and win the price trade. But if we KO Cloak, the odds of them finding Crispin on first stamp in their hand when we know they have neither is next to 0. So I think it's like a much safer play to just kill Cloak and make sure they can't attack next turn. Or, I guess, yeah, no. We just need Crispin, Candy, Pult on first stamp. It's too much. They just have 0 like those cards in my hand. So yeah, they play down Cloak. Find other guys. Iona me here. Here's another minor misplay I make. I think it doesn't really matter because it's the same amount of outs. But I have the choice here of benching Blaze Clefairy or not benching Blaze Clefairy. By benching it, it means that Night Stretcher becomes an out, and also means they need to find a Countercatcher. And finding Pult on Fair Stamp Countercatcher Energy is like a little bit lucky for them to find. It's not like the easiest thing in the world. Which is why I do bench the Clefairy. If I don't bench the Clefairy, it means, and also if I Mystical Fairy, it means I need to kill it like this turn as well. It means I need to like waste an attack on it, and I can still just like Nestball it back. So I think that's why I'm comfortable with like just doing that. Cause now attacking my Pagos is actually pretty bad for me here because they can just loot it later in the game as like a free prize. It basically it's just you're just trying to compare about like if you do kill Clefairy, technically there's less outs to find it in the turn after, but they also need a lot more to be able to KO it in the first place. I'm fully expecting to be on first stamp tier. It's just like inevitable unless it's prized. So yeah, they do the whole combo. They find CC, they find Dragapult, they find on first stamp, and they can find Evolving Both as well, which is pretty nice for them. And yep, I draw into Noctowl, which is pretty good here. I have to go down to one Hoot Hoot, which is how I lose this game because I have no Hoot Hoot left. But yeah, if I find Dory, then I can still just create like a Noctowl this turn, and extra Hoot Hoot doesn't actually do anything. So yeah, I think trying to create a Dory was definitely like a better line here because I just 60 to Cloak, and it means I need like a lot more to be able to win. So I'll put everything away in my hand, confirming I'm not going into Dory this game rather. Find Night Stretcher, and research, I think. I find E-Switch, so I can use Restart afterwards. It's basically when I'm using E-Switch here is so I can create a Mystical Fairy because it basically means like a single Psychic Energy becomes an out here as well, which I think is pretty realistic to find. And I think I'm also just like assuming I'm going to be Ionoed next turn either way. Actually, no. What else do I find? Oh, I find Nestball, so the force enemy. No, that's what I do. That's what I do. Yeah, I just find attachment. It's all coming back to me now. The visions, I'm seeing them all. I was trying to be putting on Cloak or Fez here. If I put it on Cloak, it means that if I somehow find Dory, that's allowed. But I think if I find Dory, I'm probably just finding another way of taking KO because that's so many cards. I put it on Fez instead because it plays around them going Stadium Bump, promote Ursaluna because that's just like a play I think they can fairly easily make, and it's like pretty bad for me. And yeah, because I would actually 150 to Fez there, so it's pretty relevant if I find boss. Yeah, oh yeah. If they turn potent, like an evolution here as well, it also means that like boss becomes an out, which it wouldn't previously be. So they kill all my guys. I have a fair amount of outs left in deck, but I think me missing is also pretty realistic. You can see my point about why having all these bad basics in my deck is actually like so game losing the matchup, because I haven't like thinned out for like the whole game. Like especially under Badoo, it's so hard for me to thin my deck. So these on first stamps hit so hard. I keep Pagos here because it technically gives me another turn if I don't have boss, but I think them having boss is pretty realistic here. So we just go boss, Fan, Rotom, and then free W for them. It's definitely a very bad matchup. There was a couple of things I could have done differently. If you replay this video, if you replay that matchup, maybe try and find where I can do Golden Go, where I can not make Golden Go, where I can make Dory and incorporate it into your own games. I think that was the main misplay I made. But apart from that, it's just definitely a very like bad matchup in general. Like our chances of breaking off on first stamp is so high. So yeah, those are 3 varying levels of matchups, all with varying difficulties. I think you see in the pot 1, it's definitely a very tough matchup for Pagos. I think when this video goes up, Atlanta will already happened, but for any future events, Milwaukee, Seville, if you're playing Pagos, I would not go into it without a dedicated answer to poll. Whether it's playing more copies of Monkey Dory, maybe easier ways of getting into it, maybe just have like a whole different line of just like promoting Monkey Dory more. I think there's a lot of different like stuff you can take in the matchup to maybe make it a tiny bit better, but I think unless like major innovation is done to the deck, it's still probably going to be quite unfavored. So yeah, once again, thank you for watching this video. I hope you had as much fun watching it as I had recording it. I think with this video, we have also pretty much covered most meta decks across this YouTube channel and the MetaFi, so all your problems with the meta has been solved with this. But yeah, please check out my teammates' content, of course. They make excellent stuff. They help me out a lot with this video. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye bye.